子翔访谈录 Real People, Real Story。
嗨，大家好，我是子翔。听说我们印第安纳有一个最大的私人的礼来公司的博物馆，今天我就带大家到这里来见识一下。好，让我们去会一会这个博物馆的主人 Dan Russell 先生。嗨，你好，你好 Dan， 你好，你好。
Welcome to my museum.
Thank you very much, Dan, for having me here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your museum?
Well, first of all, I started collecting antique Lilly items and apothecary items almost as soon as I started with Eli Lilly Company in 1967. My interest was piqued when I first started with the company. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Lilly himself, Colonel Lilly's grandfather, but also named Eli Lilly. He welcomed me into his office and said, of course I would like to meet you. And he spent 20 minutes with me. And after that, I was a dyed-in-the-wool fan of Lilly and the history of the company.
Oh, that's awesome. Could you take a look around here to show us around?
I would love to show you.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's go then.
Well, I do have the largest and best collection of Lilly items of anybody outside of Lilly, and I have one of the better collections of other manufacturers and pharmaceutical items and apothecary items too. But my focus is on Lilly, and I have pretty large collections of Upjohn and Park Davis as well. But I have items from hundreds of companies. Let's start with the Colonel Lilly, with the Lilly cabinet that they would give in 1880. This cabinet inscribed, carved in with Eli Lilly and Company, to any druggist who would make a purchase of $50 or more of Lilly products.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very beautiful cabinet, well made out of oak, and everybody that collects anything Lilly wants this, and they're really hard to get, and people even leave them in their will. They're so important. So, Sean, let me show you some of the other important things in there in the museum, because there's so many things, but there's some of these things that you really should know about. In this cabinet down here, I have some rare things like Lilly's authentic starches. That's before 1900, that's in the 1800s, and a salesman would show those off to any customer that would be interested in that. And there's also a very rare sample case of Lilly miniature cod liver oil fish bottles.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
Those were given to a doctor, and they were very popular. Doctors wanted them very much. And these are other rare Lilly items.
Okay.
This is a reproduction.
So here's a nice picture.
Yes, I was named the president of the, or chairman of the Lilly Bottle Club when it was formed in 1982.
Ah,
And
very
there's
nice
a
picture.
group of people that like to collect Lilly things at Eli Lilly.
Oh, okay.
This is a homeopathic remedy case, Munyon's homeopathic remedies,
Uh-huh.
and that was from the 1800s.
Okay, so what's in it?
Homeopathic remedies, it actually lists them on the front there. You can read each one. Blood cure, kidney cure,
Oh, okay.
epilepsy cure. They cured everything.
Oh, interesting.
And I have a lot of the old corporate crates. The one in particular I should point out is this one from Kiefer Stewart,
Uh-huh.
because August Kiefer had a wholesale company when Eli Lilly came back from the Civil War and wanted to start his company.
Uh-huh.
And he was so impressed with Colonel Lilly
Right.
that he bankrolled him and helped him in every way he could to get his company off the ground. And Colonel Lilly was so thankful that he always made it a corporate policy that they would sell their things through wholesalers and not directly to the customers.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Are those also a part of it? This?
These are all different companies that had them. These happen to be Pfizer, who makes all the COVID vaccines that came out. But that's very, very old.
Wow.
This cabinet has a lot of Lilly things. But on top, you'll see these showcase pieces, these show jars that they would fill with colored water, and pharmacists from way back in medieval times would put these in their front windows to attract attention. People knew there was something important there with these beautiful jars, and they were so attractive.
So those jars were put in the front of the counter to attract people's
They were
attention.
usually put in the front window so that people walking by would say, "Wow, I gotta walk in there and take a look at that."
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that nowadays?
Absolutely.
Really?
If you went to Europe, you'll see them in a lot of the pharmacies and apothecaries. Yep. These are my veterinary items.
Okay.
This is an Upjohn cabinet, much like Lilly. They made a cabinet in 1880 that they would give away to in the 1800s to customers if they bought a certain amount of Upjohn products. And Upjohn was, like Lilly, one of the rare and earliest of the Midwest pharmaceutical companies.
Okay. So I saw this interesting sign on the wall. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Probably my most valuable item in my collection and the rarest.
Oh, really? Wow. Tell us the story behind it.
None of the archivists at Lilly has ever seen one before. They didn't know it existed until I showed it to them. And it's extremely rare, and it's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
so rare and desirable, yeah.
Is this the kind of sign people hang on their shop? We dispense Lilly from...
Lilly would have given this to the druggist to put it up because it would be nice decor in the drugstore, and it would advertise Lilly for the company too. So they wanted it to be attractive and something that people would want to hang up.
Right, right.
It's all advertising.
That's great. That's impressive.
Yeah. I have some of the Lilly empty gelatin capsule boxes that came in many different sizes.
Very interesting.
And this is a display of the William S. Merrill Company, and they were in Cincinnati, another Midwestern company, just across the Ohio River from Indiana. And their price list up here is dated 1869.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yes, sir. And these are all poisons.
Oh, these are all poisons.
Many Lilly poisons, but other companies too.
That's interesting.
Warner and Merrill and Wyeth. All the major companies made poisons because they used a lot of poisons in medicine, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
How did you get your hands on so many interesting items?
Looking for them for almost 60 years.
Oh, really? You just buy it from different people?
All over the country, flea markets, antique shops, antique malls, antique shows, wherever they presented these things for sale. Yeah.
Why did you become interested to collect all those things?
Just from the interest that I took in Lilly history right from the beginning. I wouldn't have collected medicine bottles, I don't think, if I hadn't gone to work for Lilly and gotten passionately interested in the company.
And when you were working for Lilly, what kind of jobs did you hold?
I had an MBA in marketing from Michigan State, and they wanted me to work in sales to begin with. They wanted all the MBAs to go out because if you worked in sales, you got your feet wet, really learning about the basics of the company and what they do and what they sell. And it was a good experience. And once I proved myself in Wisconsin for 4 years, they brought me into the home office to work. These are some rare apothecary jars, almost all European. Some American ones are the other plainer jars, but all of these things are Spanish and French and German. These are very unusual wooden apothecary jars. Those are all from Germany.
Interesting.
Here's some Lilly diabetes drugs, insulin, and then other Lilly things there too. These are the gallon bottles that companies would put their product in, liquids. These are some old druggist circulars, which was a magazine that was subscribed to by pharmacists, and they're from the 1860s. And very topical at this time, Sean, are the vaccines. Everybody is interested in, and there's a lot of controversy with vaccines. Well, I've been collecting them for a long time, and Lilly was a very early participant in vaccine manufacturing. This light-colored set down here at the bottom that's just in beautiful good condition are all of the vaccines that Lilly provided in 1960, before the First World War. This is actually an immunization vaccine kit that Lilly salesman would show the doctor to show them what they could provide.
So this...
It's a display kit.
Wow. Which year it was manufactured, do you know?
Oh, that would have been about 1935 to 40, in that range.
Oh.
That's one of my newer ones. Most of mine are older.
They're almost 100 years old.
Most of the stuff I have is over 100 years old.
Oh, okay.
But depending on if it's really important, and I've collected it
right.
A little bit younger than that. These are some really important ancient apothecary jars from the early 1800s to 1900. Mostly around 1850 would be the average age of those.
What kind of stuff do people put into those jars?
Well, it depended on the kind of jar it is, but if it had a small neck at the top, it was for liquids, and if it had a larger opening, then it was for, pills or granules or whatever they were selling. Yeah, and you can get an idea of how beautiful pills that they could make were. Those are all handmade pills. They would roll them in a pill roller.
These are handmade pills.
Yes, sir. Yep.
How do they handmade pills? I thought they were made by a machine or
They
something.
had that came later.
Okay.
The early ones, they had to do it all by hand in a little pill roller thing.
Oh,
I
okay.
have one around here.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Do you have a sample of that machine they used
I
before?
do. Here's one right here. This is a pill roller.
Oh, this is a pill roller.
Yep. They would they would roll a little tube of paste that
Uh-huh.
had the content of the of the medicine in it, put it across here, and then they would put this down and run it back and forth across it, and they would squeeze it into individual and roll it into pills. And then
Oh,
the pills would just roll down onto the little opening down here.
very interesting. Very interesting.
Let's go into the other room.
Oh, okay, let's go. Yes.
This is some important stuff here.
Oh, okay.
This is all products of ergot that Lilly manufactured, and they made lots of different types of ointments and pills and tablets. And these particular jars are the herbarium jars that Lilly had. They had the very first comprehensive collection of herbarium jars to identify medicines when they got bulk shipments in, to make sure that they were the correct medicine and wouldn't do anybody any harm.
Right.
And these are all herbarium jars. And then here is what K.K. Chen brought with him from China when he came to Lilly in the 1920s, Ma Wang. And the English name is ephedrine. And look at all of the different products that Lilly made out of ephedrine. Little did Dr. Chen know how prolific his effect on the company's production would be. I mean, he created something that is still being used to this day. Ephedrine is a very important medicine.
Ah.
And below that is all anesthetics, ether, and chloroform. And then I'll just show you quickly some. There's so much in here, but these are all different kinds of pills and everything. But this particular cabinet here is all female remedies, things for women's ailments.
Oh, these are for women's
Vaginal
illness.
suppositories, vaginal tablets, things that would help them with their menstrual cycle or
Wow.
that kind of thing.
Very interesting.
And then those are other patent medicine things. And this whole cabinet here is all patent medicines.
Oh, patent medicine.
Yep.
Okay.
From here all the way down to here. Patent medicines were the medicines that were being purveyed upon the Americans before the professional pharmaceutical companies finally took control.
Okay.
And in 1906, the United States passed the Pure Food and Drugs Act, which forbade any patent medicines being promoted unless they could prove that they were safe and effective.
Wow.
And
Very
this-
interesting.
This is all skin and hair products.
I've never seen those before. These from maybe from 100 years ago too.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow. See, the price is interesting. It says price is $2. Oh, $1.
It was a lot of money back then, you know.
Oh, okay.
It was expensive.
Oh,
That's a lot of money today.
100 years ago, a buck
Yeah,
was
a
a
lot of
tremendous
money,
amount of
yeah.
money.
This whole cabinet here, down to here, is all Park Davis.
Oh, okay.
It was Lilly's biggest competitor, and they were in Detroit, and Lilly finally sold them, and they went out of business. But Lilly just keeps going, and these are more herb jars and
Okay.
other company medicines. And down on the bottom, there are jugs that pharmaceutical wholesalers would put liquid medicines in and send out to customers. So it was wholesale druggists.
Right.
Cleveland, Walpole, and Philadelphia, and other companies.
Very nice.
And then this is my huge collection of, goes on in every room, of medicine makers. I have hundreds of different companies, but I have lots of them from all of the major companies, Wyeth or Merck Sharpendome or Merck or Sharpendome, and Smith Kline and French and Mulford. I mean, on and on and on. I have a huge collection of, I'll show you that this is a letter that was mailed to a customer by Eli Lilly Company, pharmaceutical chemist, in 1894.
Wow.
It's the original handwritten envelope. And this is an actual Eli Lilly and Company invoice from 1881.
Wow.
And it's all written in ink. Did you get a picture of this Abbott Laboratories sign? Abbott is an important company this day in Chicago.
Okay, yes.
These are important pictures. This is a picture in 1925 of all of the Lilly sales managers from every district all across America. And they came to Indianapolis to have a meeting. And sitting here is Eli Lilly, the grandson of Colonel Lilly. He was the CEO and president of Eli Lilly and Company when I was starting with the company, and he's the gentleman that spent that 20 minutes talking to me.
Oh,
And
okay.
inspired me to start collecting Lilly history. And this picture is in 1925 again, but it's all of the research scientists at Eli Lilly and Company at that time. That's the entire doctors and research that were at Lilly. And here is George Clues, who was the first director of Lilly Research, and he was so important because diabetes and insulin has been such a major thing for Lilly over the century. And he worked with Banting and Best in Toronto to help get insulin studied and approved for use in human beings. And that saved millions of lives. And over here to his left is Dr. K.K. Chen, who was persuaded by Mr. Lilly in the early 1900s to come and work at the company, and he started and became the first director of pharmacology at Lilly.
Wow. Very interesting.
These photos that have been mounted are part of a display that Eli Lilly and Company did a few decades ago and had them on the walls all around the company to make the employees know, how important the company is and how long it's been around and how important the employees are to the success of the company. So it shows people in all kinds of areas of production and doing their work and helping really be the success that it is today.
Those are also interesting. What are those? Is it like a newspaper postings?
Those are from a newspaper during the First World War, but they were advertisements for hood sarsaparilla, which is a very popular medicine for patients and kids. In this display, I have a lot of interesting Lilly bottles, but what I wanted to emphasize is I have a lot of very, very nice Lilly large tins, and they sent lots of pills and tablets to customers in the 1930s and 40s in these tins, and they're quite attractive. And then I also have this hard to find, and I've only seen a couple of those in my whole career, Lily's colorless mineral oil. I told you that they made full line, of products to compete with Park Davis and others, and they made mineral oil for all the purposes that you could use mineral oil for. This is this is all of the Lilly fish bottles with original labels.
Wow.
And that's hard to find. I mean, people have fish bottles by the thousands, but the labels didn't last. So to find them with good labels on them is extraordinary. These are the leather-bound set of Lilly's Tile and Till magazine, which they published from the early 1900s until recently, and that covers from 1915 to 1937. In fact, I have things marked that I thought were interesting.
Yeah.
Picture of the Lilly lab advertising their ampules as the ampule house. And you'll see over there when we see some of the salesman sample kits, we really pushed our ampules. We were very successful. Cocoa quinine. There's World War II.
Oh.
Look at the Army camp with the Army vehicle.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah. But they're just filled with lots of articles and pictures.
Oh, look at that baby picture.
Baby powder. Yeah. Lilly made baby powder. Would you believe that?
Oh, that's interesting.
If people needed it, we made it.
Okay, so what is all the wonderful books here, Ben?
So Sean, it was hard to display these things and show them to people. So for the purposes of this video, I brought all of these things out from all parts of my displays and all parts of my storage to show the incredible collection of Lilly books and catalogs that I have. And focus on this, Sean, because this is one of only two original 1877 Lilly catalogs that exist. Lilly Archives has one and I have this one. And there's no existing catalog that anybody's ever seen that's older than that. And
Which year it was from?
that's 1877.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
more than 100 years ago. Wow.
Oh yeah. 150 years ago, almost. And this grouping in here I have 8 of the 10 Lilly catalogs from the 1880s, and they had beautiful graphics on them then. They were just beautiful catalogs, very desirable. And this is the original Lilly Handbook of Pharmacy and Therapeutics, and I marked it because if you can show that this thing was put together by Colonel Lilly's brother, James Lilly, who was also the company's first salesman. By the time it got up to about 1918 to 1925, they came up with what became the Bible of Lilly products, the Lilly Handbook of Pharmacy and Therapeutics of that era, and they dedicated those books to James Lilly, who we just looked at a while ago and showed you the original one that he put together. This is an important catalog here.
Oh, okay.
One of the biggest wholesalers of items that pharmacists needed for their daily work was Whitehall Tatum. And Whitehall Tatum just made beautiful catalogs. And you can see, we talked about the show globes. They made beautiful show globes with the colored water in them that would impress the customers. I forgot to mention that these are actually the personal catalogs of James Lilly, the first salesman that we talked to. J.K. Lilly is Colonel Lilly's only son, and he was the first employee of Eli Lilly and Company when he opened the doors. His son was the errand boy that ran and took things to places or picked things up, and he was the first paid employee. And then Evan Lilly was Colonel Lilly's cousin. So rare stuff. At this end, I want to show you. I don't think anybody has a better collection. I would be shocked if they do a better collection of salesman sample kits from drug companies. Most of these are Lilly, but some are from Park Davis and other companies.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the kits that the salesman would carry with them to give the doctor a visual and hands-on look at the products that they were trying to promote. And you know, people like to see what they're going to buy, and
Yes.
this is how they could get their interest.
Is this a sample box people can give out to the patients for tryout or something like that?
Some of them had things that you could sample, and some of them had dummy medicine in them. But
Oh,
the
okay.
salesman would know, and if there were things that he could give the doctor, okay, doctor, we'll give you this.
That's okay.
This is a sample of,
Oh,
to show what all the Lilly gallons look like, the gallon bottles, but they're miniature gallons.
oh,
And these two sample kits are ephedrine, Ma Wang.
oh, wow.
And that's how they would show the ephedrine products, which were numerous. You saw all the different ones that were in there. And they could show some of the ephedrine products to the doctor. And we talked about how important the Lilly ampules were. This is the salesman's sample kit of all the Lilly ampules that were available there really early in 1900. This goes back to almost 1900. And it's in mint condition. It's a beautiful, beautiful set.
Collected so many. It's hard for me to believe that someone would have the resources, the time, the efforts to collect so many. You know, it must took you a long time and perseverance and tenacity to do those things.
A lot of money, I can tell you that.
A lot of money?
And then you can't even count all the trips and the time and hours spent and gasoline. Oh yeah, sure.
So do you have a goal in mind when you started this museum that which collection you have to have or something like that?
Well, like I said, it was Lilly. You know, anything that had to do with Lilly